monogamy, non-monogamy, children or no children, living together or even living apart. You can have whatever relationship structure you want. The non-negotiable in that is truth. If someone hides part of their life because you'd walk away if you knew it, that's not privacy, it's simple deception. You can't build trust, and it's very difficult to build a life on lies. It's like building a big fancy house on a mountain of sand. Today I want to show you what it looks like to put honesty ahead of any kinds of labels, to put honesty even before the idea of getting into a relationship in the first place, whatever the structure of that relationship is. We'll cover how to recognize red flags of hidden agendas, how to spot when someone is hiding things or dishonest in general, and simple ways to state your expectations without dragging drama or stress into a new connection. Any relationship that two adults agree on can be put into practice and can be functional and satisfying for both if the terms are explicit and lived out through actions. Dishonesty in this case is not some sort of preference that a person might have. It's actually a strategy to keep access to the other person without really being accountable or responsible. If the truth would change the other person's choice, or would change the other person's interest or degree of involvement altogether, then hiding the truth actually steals the other person's choice. And it steals their right to make the choice that is right for them. Hi, I'm Madalena, and this is You Reclaimed. Around here, we spend a lot of time talking about how we reclaim our lives back from the grips of childhood trauma, from emotional dysregulation, and from anxiety. And we do this ongoing exercise because we want to live our lives on our own terms. I hope you stick around. Before we get into it, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. And if you're finding this content helpful, please give it a like. It really helps the channel grow. A lot of us think the reason uncertainty in connection feels so bad to our nervous system is because we don't really know if the other person likes us enough, or likes us to the same degree that we like them. We're still trying to figure things out when things are new. We're trying to understand what degree of involvement the other person wants with us. And that brings a lot of anxiety and trepidation in the beginning of a new relationship. If you want to learn more about how to spot lackluster intention or people who are not actually ready or available for a relationship, watch my other video called 5 Signs You're Dealing with Unavailability, Not Avoidance. I'll link it below in the description. But in truth, a lot of anxiety in a new relationship, it comes from all of the little unspoken things. It comes from a sort of dishonesty that hides the truth, and because we don't talk about the truth, but we know that there's an undercurrent of things that are being unsaid, it keeps our nervous system on edge while we're trying to figure out the truth underneath people's actions. Here are some examples of how this might show up. It's in the person who says that they're not ready for labels, but they want emotional or sexual exclusivity from you. Or the person you start seeing who refuses to put labels on the relationship and says, let's just see where things go. Underneath that, most of us understand that the other person is probably seeing other people. Or they're leaving the door open to seeing other people and keeping their options open. And it's knowing this that creates the sort of unsettling feeling that we have about these kinds of setups. Another example is someone who says, I'm interested in a relationship, but then doesn't actually make the time or effort to further a relationship and move it along in a sort of relationship path. We feel that underneath the words, there's something else, even though it's unsaid, and that knowing it keeps our nervous system in trepidation, in anxiety. On the other hand, here are some examples of honesty in practice, even when honesty is difficult, or when it's unpleasant, or when it's not exactly what we want to hear. From the start, I'm not monogamous. This is how I like to have a relationship. And if this isn't for you, I absolutely respect that. It's hard to argue with someone who says that. You might not like it, but it's honest, and it lets you make a clear, honest choice for yourself about whether you want to be involved in such a scenario. Clear pacing. I want to be sexually exclusive by month 2. If that feels too fast, just let me know. I'm okay if it's not for you, but that's what I need to be able to continue dating you. No labels with integrity and honesty. Like, I'm not ready to put a label on what we're doing here. If you need one, I can't hold you here. I understand if you need to leave, and I accept that because I cannot offer you a label or a designation of some sort at this point in time. That's honest. It gives both people real information, and it makes it so that both people can make choices that are right for them. Your body and your nervous system relax when the map of a relationship matches the road that you clearly feel and can see that you're on. Clear arrangements like this and consistent behavior mean less hypervigilance on your part and less anxiety. Reciprocity and intent, and reciprocity in how you want to have a relationship, they recalibrate your nervous system because the connection stops being a sort of guessing game. It stops being an arena that you have to step into like it's a fight, where you have to figure things out. That's what keeps you hypervigilant and stressed out. When you feel like you have to suss out the truth underneath a pretty facade of ambiguity, it's the lies and the ambiguity that keep you in threat detection mode, always trying to figure out what's really going on. The truth actually lets you rest, no matter how difficult the truth is to stomach. It always feels better than the lies. How will you know if you've come across an honest and straightforward person? Well, you'll know because honest, straightforward people volunteer relevant information before you really have to try to dig it out from under them. They can tolerate your no, where you say, I'm not comfortable with the setup, or I don't like this, or I don't like how this makes me feel. You'll know because they're willing to stick to agreements and to revisit those agreements if necessary. And you'll know because when the facts change, they actually tell you instead of hiding them. How will you know when you've come across a dishonest person or someone who isn't straightforward about the truths and facts of a relationship? You'll notice the timelines are always kind of vague. The goalposts keep moving place. They'll be secretive about ordinary, non-consequential details. You might feel like you're overreacting anytime you ask for some sort of clarity on important details. Their words are nice, but the logistics don't really add up. And a lot of the time, their stories only make sense if you mentally delete or take pieces of the stories out. You'll have to ignore Tuesday night or forget what they told you last week or pretend 2 timelines didn't actually overlap somehow. If you have to edit out details for a story to add up, it's probably not an honest story. This is one that most of us have a lot of trouble with. If to believe that a person is honest, you consistently have to ignore parts of stories or pieces of their behavior that you have to sort of ignore, you're on the wrong track. Or you're on the right track, but you're there with the wrong person. It's okay to state your intentions up front, even if you're not used to doing this. It can be something as simple as, I'm good with any relationship structure that is honest so that I can make the right decisions for myself. And you don't have to know what you're okay with until you come across it. And then with honesty, you can decide. You can say, I'm open to honest agreements between us. And if at any time things change for you or for me, we put it on the table and we discuss it openly. So, can we be clear about whether we're exclusive, let's say, about how often we see each other, and about how we'll talk about these things if anything changes between us? These are acceptable things to say openly. You don't actually need anything to be set in stone. It's not really about that. You don't need the other person to commit to you before they're ready. You don't need to make any commitments that you're not ready to make. You just need to start with committing to honesty and to open communication. That's all it takes to start going forward with honesty. I know this can feel like a lot. Most people don't date this way because we think that if we state these things up front, the people we want will take off and just date other people who are not asking for so much, I guess, honesty. And they might, yeah, but they'll date other people who are okay with ambiguity and who are okay with their nervous system being on edge while they're trying to figure out mixed messages. If that's not you, it's okay to be clear. The right people will stay at the table and have a coffee and keep relationshiping with us, because the right people will either want to have the same or they'll be willing to play within this structure so that they can have access to us. If a person is unable to be clear, that is actually clarity. You can avoid arguing altogether by understanding that a lack of clarity is actually clarity. When someone is unclear or dishonest or ambiguous, when it seems like they're hiding things, that is your clarity right there. There is no big mystery that you need to figure out there. Any relationship can work if it's honest and reciprocal, whatever it looks like. Until next time. As always, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use it. It really helps this channel grow. Until next time.